Hi, did you miss the January 2026 cohort of the Money Click program? Come closer. Relax. Don't worry, you haven't missed your chance. A new cohort is starting in March, and this is a golden opportunity for you to step into a real financial transformation. And if you've been waiting for the right time to take control of your money, this is it. The program begins on March 22nd, 2026. Leave us a comment or send us a DM to secure your spot. Don't let this opportunity pass you by. Your financial journey can start now.
Hello, everyone. Hello, billionaires in the house. Welcome to our Thursday live sessions here on YouTube. Happy to have you all here today. And I know some people also just came from the Inner Circle webinar, just like me. All right. Yes, I went for a little water break. So now I am back. And let us continue the conversation here. Let's bring the conversation here home as regards money and parenting as well. Funny enough, coincidentally, the funny thing is that I didn't plan today's topic bearing in mind that I was going to teach in the inner circles today. I did not. Right? And today's topic is why undisciplined parents raise financially confused children. So it's looking like I planned it, for those who are in the inner circle. It wasn't planned at all. This was very, very coincidental, right? And but it's fine that it happened this way. It almost seemed like TIP was in my mind as they were structuring their topics for the month, and quite coincidental anyway. So I'm happy that we're here. Welcome from that class. If you were there, you're welcome here. Let's continue learning here. Yes, today is back-to-back learning. Was back-to-back learning everywhere. So we're going to continue here. Thank you so much for being here. Happy to have all of you. Thank you to all of you also who were in the inner circle. We'll continue learning. We'll continue learning because learning is a journey that you will never get away from. It's a lifelong journey, right? So thank you. Thank you so much, Madam Jamila. I see you. I see you all, Tita Academy. And Madam Ogene Brume was the first to be here, followed by Madam Banke and Madam Wafo. Thank you so much to all of you for being here. Let's get into the discourse of the day. A discourse of the day. Yes, a lot has to change. A lot has to change, and it will change. So far, we're committed. Like I would always say, there's nothing we cannot achieve without self-discipline. With self-discipline, sorry. Right? Everything is possible with self-discipline. Everything. There's no impossible. Everything is possible with self-discipline. It might take time, but it's possible. And today, this Wednesday live session, we're going to be looking at why a disciplined parent raise financially confused children. Children then learn money from what we say, which is one of the mistakes that we make. Children learn from what we show, right? So long before a child earns their first dollar, their first pound, their first naira, their first kwacha, right? Their first shilling, their first CD, their first safer, they have already formed beliefs about money. And those beliefs about money were formed by watching how their parents react when money is tight, by watching how money is spent when it comes in, by watching whether money brings peace or panic, by watching whether spending is planned or emotional. And that's why we say that financial confusion is inherited. It's not chosen most of the time. Why? Because whether your child will be financially confused or wise is dependent on the blueprint that you pass on to them. It's important that we understand that we are the blueprint for our children. It is what we are doing that they see and come to see as normal. That is what is forming their identity with money. So how we react to money is important. How we spend is important. I've seen a lot of parents that that are reckless spenders. And then they bring their children and say, that they need this child to change you. But they forget that the problem is from them. They are the origin of the problem, right? So every home is a money classroom, whether we like it or not. Every home is a place to start teaching money from. Why? Because children are quietly observed. Remember, money lessons start with observations. They start with observations. And if you read my book, Raising Financially Literate Children, you understand that at a certain age, right, all children do is observe. They're just watching you. And that's how their money blueprint is being formed. So every day your children are watching, they are understanding, they are imbibing something from you. Your salary comes in, there's excitement in the house, everybody knows they've paid. Then spending comes in. Before you know it, months has not ended, there's panic everywhere. You people should not use that thing well, you know, that kind of a thing. Money comes in, everybody is happy, everybody is enjoying, as it should. 2 weeks. Well, apologies, the network was just misbehaving itself there. But we're back. We're back. So a lot of things, that we project to our children that is not good, right? We're trying to tell them that that's the circle of money. It comes in before the end of the month. We're running kitty kitty again. It comes in today. 2 weeks later, there's this tightness everywhere because there's no money anymore. You should be careful. There's no money. Why are you cooking 2 cups of rice? Have you forgotten that I told you there's no money? Cook 1.5. Cook one only. Do things like that. Right? Things like that. These are the things that we do that our children are emulating. They are watching, and it's doing something to them. There are people who cannot manage money, and it's not even because of not having the skills. It is because of what money has come to mean to them. Money means to them as something that should just be spent. So they just follow the trajectory of they earn, they get excited, they spend, they start panicking again. For some people, every day, this is their lives. Every month, this is their lives. There are homes where, it is borrowing that is the issue. There are homes where they are frequently borrowing for, in quotes, emergencies. Emergencies that are predictable. Borrowing. What you're doing is that you're normalizing debt for your children. Right? There are homes where there are always arguments over money behind closed doors. Always. There are children who have come to see money as a problem in marriage. There are people that, when they're about to get married, some of the questions they ask about money will tell them that, yes, there's something wrong. There's some kind of trauma this person is still dealing with from their past as regards money. There are people where you see, when they come out and they say, my wife cannot have more money than me. This person will say, my husband cannot have more money than me. All those things sometimes is as a result of what they saw money do between their parents. For some people, those arguments they saw their parents have about money made them feel like, maybe this argument is because mommy makes more money than daddy. And the person will grow up feeling like a woman should not make more money than the man. That is a developed identity. So in some homes, there are no clear explanations of where money goes, of how money is used. In some homes, there is enjoyment without planning. After the enjoyment, stress go follow. Right? After the enjoyment, stress go follow. After enjoying, they will not face the boogie. You are showing something to your children. So even when you tell your children, save your money, your children are learning a louder lesson from your actions. And that louder lesson that they're learning from all those things that you do is you're telling them that money is stressful. You're telling them that money disappears. You're telling them that money is unpredictable, right? We need to understand what financial indiscipline or undiscipline, sorry, looks like through a child's eyes, right? See, a child may see, a parent might think that what they're doing is just survival. A child might be experiencing inconsistency. See, in our realities, we live in realities where we borrow to attend weddings, we borrow to attend or travel for Christmas. Yes, Christmas people borrow just to travel. People use their credit cards to buy flights that bring them back to Nigeria in Christmas. That's borrowing to travel. People borrow to have funerals. People borrow to attend weddings. People buy things impulsively. People keep saying there are places where you see people, they keep shouting, oh, we don't have money, right? But tomorrow you see them overspending. There are homes where budgeting does not exist and there's constant financial pressure. There are homes where there are no savings, but there is regular enjoyment going on. To a child, it feels like something you react to, not something you control. All these things make a child feel like money is something you react to, not something you control. When you borrow to attend the wedding, you're telling the child you react to money. So when they tell you there's wedding, borrow and go. When you spend impulsively, you're telling your child you react to money. When the impulse comes, just buy it. So the actions, the examples we depict for our children at home is what is teaching them not to see some money as something to control. It's making them to see money as something that they have to react to. And money is not something you react to, it's something you control. And you control it deliberately through actions, through structures, through systems. Through systems. Right? Now, I want us to look at how we pass down confusion to our children. Right? We said that today we're talking about why undisciplined parents raise financially confused children. Now, I want us to look at how we pass down that confusion. The first way we pass down that confusion is by having no structure or clarity. When, as a parent, you don't budget, you don't plan, right? It means that children don't learn that there are limits. It means that spending will feel random for children. It means that savings will feel optional. It is the blueprint we're showing them that they are imbibing, that they're soaking in, that their subconscious is absorbing. So when you keep putting out all those things, when you don't budget, when you don't plan, you're clearly going to make them grow up guessing instead of managing. And a lot of us guess through our money because there's no plan whatsoever. We start up every month. There's no plan on what we want to use money to do for the month. So we just guess. Oh, this month, what comes up, we do. We are just reactive. Whatever comes up, we solve the problem. We keep solving until the money is finished, and then we fall back to debt. So a lot of structure and clarity is the reason, is how you're passing down confusion to your children. So if you lack structure, if you lack clarity in your money, it means that you are passing down confusion to your children. Number two is emotional money decisions. When children see money used to reduce stress, when they see money used to impress other people, when they see money used to just show face, we say it jokingly, let me just show face. When they see you use money to show face, right? Then they're going to learn that money is an emotional relief. They're not going to see money as a strategic tool. Money will not be a tool for them. Money will be a tool. When they see that, oh, you're using money for just to show a makwandaiwo, just to show that, oh, I have this, you don't have that, they're going to attach emotions to money. Number three, if there's silence around money, which is what happens most of the time in our homes, right? A lot of times we tell ourselves that children should not know everything about money. Money is adult matter. They should not know adult matters. So children grow up around money decisions without understanding the whys behind them. There are a lot of things a lot of people do with money today, and they don't know why. They just do it because it has become a habit, but they don't even have the reasons why they do it. So when we do not teach our children deliberately, when we have that silence around money, which means we are going to be raising children who do not have a full understanding of what they're doing with money. We should have family times when we have to talk about money. See, silence breeds confusion. Confusion now breeds fear. And that's one thing we should run away from. Number four is mixed messages. So parents say, oh, be disciplined with money. Just like I was saying today in the money click. Sorry, in the inner circle. Some people show mixed messages. Some parents send mixed messages. Right? Double standards. Parents will say, be disciplined with your money, save. But themselves are not disciplined. The same parents who are saying be disciplined are impulse spenders. The same parents who are saying be disciplined do not have savings. They are frequently borrowing, right? And your children are watching. And they're looking at you and they feel, this person talking about financial discipline is just a hypocrite. There's nothing like financial discipline. Let me live my life the way I want to live it. See, children trust patterns more than instructions. They trust patterns. And they can see the patterns that you're laying out for them. And that's the thing that will determine what they do. It's not what they see you see. It's even worse when your patterns are the same and you say another. Sorry, when your patterns are different and you say something else. They see you as a hypocrite. Right? They see you and they say, this woman is my mother, but she's just a liar. This man is my father, but he's just a liar. I know he's a liar. I know he's a liar. So we must ensure that our patterns are the same with our instructions. Children trust patterns more than instructions. We must ensure that our patterns are in alignment with our instructions. We must ensure that. So look at the instructions you're giving and then ask yourself, am I in line with this instruction, with the patterns that I'm showing these children? You're telling them to save, are you saving? You're teaching them about not borrowing. Do you have a credit card? Where you constantly take them to shops and you use the same credit card and you buy things and you come back home and you tell them, borrowing is not good. Borrowing is not good. You must align with your patterns, right? Number five is survival-based mindset. You know, a lot of us have that survival-based mindset. And when you have survival-based mindset, it means that you will not be raising a child who would have an abundance mindset. So, you know, a lot of times, I don't know if we've read, everyone here has read my book, Raising Heirs. It's one book everybody should read. Raising Heirs, not hustlers. Raising Heirs is a construct of having survival mindset. And a lot of us are stuck in our survival mindset. A lot of us have made a lot of money, but we're stuck in our survival mindset. And that's the reason why we can't move from where we are to wealth. Like I would always tell you, wealth is at that point where you have enough income generating assets to cater for your expenses. A lot of us have liquid money. We make a lot of money, right? But we do not have wealth. What it means is that if we stop working today, all that money will be gone. There will be no source of income. Now, wealth means that you need to transfer, right? You need to convert your end income to passive income. How do you do that? You do that by saving and investing. By investing. That's how you do it. So, but sometimes because we're stuck in our survival mindset, we don't think about investing. We don't think about wealth because our mindset is structured just to survive. So you will just be surviving. You will just be surviving. And when you're surviving, there's no plan. There's no definite plan. Oh, this is where we're going to, this is what we want to do. And that's what the children will absorb. That's what they will absorb. Right? They will absorb that they shouldn't plan. They will absorb it. See, the best way to teach your children to plan is to plan. The best way to teach your children anything is to do it. Is to do it. Right? You know, sometimes when I look at my daughter and we're home, and once you start clapping like this, she starts clapping with you. They are watching and they are learning. They do everything that you do. Everything. So if you're stuck in your survival mindset, you will transfer your survival mindset to your children. You will survival mindset to your children. If you have money and you do not know where to invest your money, then you need to learn. There's something I always say here. I always tell you, making money is dependent on principles. Managing money is dependent on discipline. Right? Multiplying money, investing money is dependent on knowledge. You must acquire knowledge if you must invest money. You must. Investing is something that has to do with knowledge. When you don't have the knowledge and you go into investing, you will pay the price. A lot of people have paid the price. They paid it in MMM, CBEX, Google to go, different one and there. You need, even on the stock market, some people have paid the price on the stock market. Some people have told me that if you see how much I've lost in the stock market. Why? Because a lot of people went into it without knowledge. So knowledge is the place, what you need for you to begin to invest. So, and that knowledge in the Money Click program, Money Click is structured. So we don't just jump in and out shouting, say, do this, do that, right? The month of March is our month of stock investing, especially in the Money Click. We have another month for real estate investing when we teach different kinds of investment. So March, next month, we'll start teaching about stock investing. So, and when we get there, then we'll begin to see. In fact, most of our YouTube live and everything will start shifting, tilting towards stock investing when we get to the month of March. Right? So that is also where you get to learn. So if you're in the Money Click program, just stay tuned to March. And when we come there, then we begin to break down different kind of investments for you. Okay? We'll break down how you need to invest in the stock market, which stocks you have to invest in. We teach you exactly what to do. You must learn what to do. Bonds, be it any kind of investment, money markets, you know. So the time is coming. We're almost there. But make sure you're a part of it, right? Make sure you're in the click. And I know you're in the click. All right. So there is a long-term effect, right, on children when we pass down the wrong money mindsets to them. The long-term effect is that they are going to become adults. They become financially confused children, grow into adults who would earn money and not build wealth. A lot of us are earning money today. We're not building wealth. A lot of us, if you check the amount of money that has passed through us, we would not have any reason to be working today if we had built wealth in the past. See, they say this person used to have money before, now you don't get money again. Or do you know, if you know when this man used to be so rich, it is simply because the person didn't build wealth. Building wealth is a thing of knowledge. You need to learn, and it starts gradual. And building wealth is not about having so much money. That's another problem that a lot of people have. People think, oh, building wealth is about when you start making billions. No. I always tell you that wealth is relative. What is wealth to you might not be what is wealth to me. What is wealth to you is not wealth to someone else. The problem is that everybody wants to grow wealth and be like Dangote or Mark Zuckerberg. Now, see, if what it takes for you to have a comfortable life that you want every year, for example, right, is 100 million. The moment you have enough income generating assets to give you 100 million, you're wealthy. If what you require is 10 million, the moment you have enough assets, enough investment to pay you 10 million every year, then you're wealthy. So wealth is, we don't say that wealth is when you get to a certain amount. It is when you have enough income generating assets to cater for your expenses. Your expenses is not this different with, it's not the same with another person's. So what it means is that if you're earning 100K today, you are a certain place in life, you can start building wealth from where you are. You don't need to start earning 1 million before you start thinking about wealth. Because wealth is relative. It's relative. So financially confused children often grow into adults who earn money but don't build wealth. They grow into adults who feel anxious about finances. There are people that the kind of anxiety they have about money, oh my God. Once alert drops, their heart flies. They know they open the alerts. Once alert drops into the account, debit to credit to, their mind is shaking, it's beating. There are people that, oh, when they're getting towards the end of the month that they will receive their salary, their money, their heart is beating. Financially confused children grow into adults who avoid budgeting. They grow into adults who spend emotionally, because that's what they've learned. They've learned not to budget. Budgeting is not a habit for them. So they will not budget. They will struggle to budget. They spend emotionally. That's the habits that they've come to build. So it will become now a struggle for them to start making a U-turn to stop emotional spending. And most especially, financially confused children become adults who repeat the same cycle. They repeat the same cycle. Right? And they're not this way because they are careless. They are this way because nobody modeled clarity for them. Nobody modeled clarity. Nobody modeled clarity. See, what is not taught intentionally will be repeated unconsciously. So we need to become more intentional about what we teach our children through our actions, through the patterns that we exhibit to them. We need to become more intentional. If not, what it means is that this process that you're going through, trying to change your mindset, trying to start learning new money habits, your children will have to go through this process again. And that's the reason why you have to start early with them, so they don't have to go through the same thing that you're going through. And that's the reason why, as you're learning, bring your children to also learn. The Money Click Kids is a place for them to learn. Although, as it is right now, we've closed entry into the Money Click Kids for the year. Money Click Kids is till 2027 that we take entries. But we have workshops that will hold through the year for people who are not able to make it into the Money Click Kids. And the next workshop is coming up in April. So we need to teach our children and we need to make it deliberate. But the first place to teach them is through our actions. Don't bring your children to Money Click Kids or to Smart Money Kids workshop when you are not setting the good example at home. There's no need. There's nothing that I will teach them there that will make sense to them. Because after teaching them, they will come and look at you and then they're even more confused. So you must start with yourself. You must start with yourself. Right? And it's not about blame. A lot of parents themselves, a lot of us, were also not taught about money. A lot of parents were not taught. A lot of parents are surviving from what they know. And that's why people are here today learning. That's why we have people in the Money Click. That's why people show up here, because they want to learn. A lot of us are parenting from the point of survival. But thank God for awareness, everything is changing. So we don't need to be rich to raise financially confident children. We need to be intentional. Intentionality is key. And that's why I'm happy every Thursdays that I have people who are here, who are listening and who are learning. Because it shows that intentionality. That's a mark of discipline. That's a mark of discipline. Talking about the intentionality, let's look at how parents can begin to break this circle, right? How parents can break this circle of indiscipline, right? Or, yes, the circle of indiscipline, or modeling the wrong things to the children, right? Number one is to model structure. Model structure, not perfection. See, one thing about parenting that I've also learned in the last few years is that parenting is not about perfection. Your children do not need flawless parents. They need parents who are consistent. They need parents who model structure. They need parents who have shown that, yes, there's a system, there's a structure that can work and model it to their children, not a perfect one. And you do not need to be perfect before you can have a structure. You can have structures. You can have structures regardless of your imperfections as a parent. Number two is talk about money calmly. Just talk about money. Explain why you are saving. Explain why you are saying no. Just few minutes, few hours, few minutes ago in the inner circle program, I was talking about why sometimes children from disciplined homes turn out to be undisciplined. And it's because of rebellion. A lot of children rebel against their parents' discipline. And it's simply because parents choose to use the military style of discipline to teach their children. Military style where they don't know anything, they don't get any explanations, right? You don't tell them why you're saving or why they should save. You don't tell them why you're saying no. You don't tell them why some things must wait. Oh, you want to teach delayed gratification, but you're not explaining what it is. You're not telling them why they need to wait. And when you don't do this, you will be raising children who would one day, at the sight of freedom, they will rebel against everything that you stand for. Why? Because you have created the wrong mindset about those things for them. In trying to tell them to delay gratification, you have indirectly also told them that, oh, they just have to live in suffering. That's the way they've interpreted it. That's the way they've interpreted it. So you're telling them that, okay, that you want them to imbibe delayed gratification, and they ask you, Daddy, can I have this thing now? Or Mommy, can I have this thing now? You say no. But you're not telling them why. When you don't tell them why, they will find a why themselves. And the only why they can see is that this woman is wicked. She's just stingy. My mother is just stingy. My father is just stingy. And when they have that conclusion in their mind, at the slightest opportunity, they will rebel against that thing that you stand for, even though it's the right thing. So explain why you are saving to them. Explain why you're saying no to those requests. Give them an explanation. Give an explanation. Right? Explain why some things must wait. Mommy, but why? Daddy, but why? Tell them why some things must wait. Right? Yes, I like the fact that someone said that explaining to children gives you peace of mind for now, and the next time they need that thing. Yes. So that also helps. That also helps. So you need to be able to explain to them. See, clarity builds confidence. The more clearer you make your children, the more confident they are in those values, in those decisions. Why sometimes your children do not uphold your values is because they do not have clarity around it. They don't even know why you do what you do. A lot of children don't know, oh, you say integrity, they don't even understand it. It even becomes worse when you now have double standards. You say integrity, but tomorrow you're doing something else. They completely throw them away. You say you're a Christian, but tomorrow they see you bribing somebody somewhere. They completely say, no, this is just hypocrisy. So clarity builds confidence. You must talk about money. It's important. Number 3 is you must begin to introduce simple systems. Simple systems. Yesterday on the Instagram and Facebook Live, we talked about budgeting as a guardrail. You must introduce budgeting as a guardrail. See, you don't need to start teaching, if they are still very young, you don't need to start teaching them budgeting. Just let them see you budget. Oh, I'm budgeting. Oh, well, mommy, what are you doing? I'm trying to budget for the month. Let them see you do it. Right? Introduce systems where you save consistently. Introduce systems where you give also. Because most times when it comes to money, people feel giving is not important. Giving is important. It's important for your children to understand giving. Why? Because when they give, when you tell them and expose them to giving, there's something giving does to your mindset. Giving makes money not seem like a master. When you give, you are simply saying to the universe that money can flow through you. So you give and you know it can always come back to you. People who don't give, they always have a mindset of, if I give this thing now, who knows when I will get it back? And that's a limiting mindset. That's a limiting mindset. So giving is also a way of creating an abundance mindset. It's also a way of creating a free mindset among your children. It's also a way of telling them that it's okay to let it go. But remember, it can also come back. But in giving, remember, you must have a system, you have a structure around it. Giving doesn't now mean that anybody that comes knocking, you give. It must be budgeted. It must be budgeted. And when you hit your limit, you stop. So the same way you plan your savings, you plan your givings, and you also plan your spending. Right? And then another system that you can begin to use also for the small little ones is allowance. Allowance, not just allowances, allowance with purpose. The problem with giving children allowance is that when we give them allowance, you don't attach purpose to it. So we give them money and they just go and spend it however they like. And they spend it however they like, they become children who would even get to spend more money. Why? Because they have money that they don't need and they are practicing spending. They're practicing spending. Right? So give them allowance, but make sure there's purpose attached to it. As you're giving them the allowance, tell them, oh, yeah, come. This allowance I'm giving you, you need to, you see how I always budget every month. That's how you also need to budget. So you need to bring out 40% of this money for your savings. You need to bring out 30% of the money for you to do, some things. Let's say your expenses, things that they want to buy. Another part, maybe 10% for giving. You put a purpose to the money for them to see. Help them put purpose to it. See, allowance is the training ground of money for children. It's the intentional training ground. After you've started with modeling, the next phase is allowance. But the problem is that people do allowance and they don't attach purpose, and that's the issue. So you have children who are just getting money, they don't know what to do with it, so just go and spend. And before you know it, they develop that habit of spending. But when you give them the allowance and you tell them, this one, you must save, you must do this, they do it consistently, it becomes a habit. So they know that, okay, once money comes in, it must be saved, it has to be spent, we need to give out of it, and, they follow that pattern. So system makes discipline very visible. When there are systems, it's as if discipline can be seen. Number 4 is to heal your own money patterns. Heal your own money patterns. Part of this, I mentioned the Inner Circle webinar that just ended. See, unhealed money trauma becomes inherited behavior. Healing yourself is part of your journey in parenting. And if you must pass on proper money patterns, abundance mindsets, good money habits, you must heal the old mindsets. You must heal the old patterns that you had before. A lot of us, everything that we're doing about money is hinting or is emanating from the patterns that we absorbed from our parents. And they might not be the patterns that we want to use. They might not be the patterns that support our financial goals. So healing yourself is a step in raising a child who will not become confused with money. Heal yourself. If you are a model to your children, right, then it means that you must ensure that that model is cleaned up. That model is appropriate. So you need to heal. A lot of us have a lot of financial trauma. A lot. When we say, oh, I want to give my children the best, it's trauma. For some of us, that is some people that is on the extreme that don't even want to give out anything, it's also trauma. I'll tell you a story. There's something happened in a place where I worked several years ago in Makodi, in Benue. you know. So I was living in Benue, I was working in Benue, this colleague. So one day it was a different department. So I went to the office and they were talking about, she was there. They were talking about how they were yabbing her in the office. And they said that this lady hoards for Africa. She has savings in her account that she has not touched for years, and it does nothing for her. And she's not saving because, oh, maybe she wants to invest or something. She's just saving out of fear. So they were yapping her. They said, this woman that you don't even, she hardly even wears good clothes. She hardly takes care of herself. If they say they're sharing food somewhere, that lady, she will go and drag for the food. But yet, she had so much money that she was hoarding. That's trauma. It could be that she grew up with an experience where, at some point money showed her shaggy or something thereabout. Something would have triggered that trauma. Now, what started the yabbing was she was at some point she saved up so much money that she didn't touch. I think somehow EFCC flagged the money in her account and it became a problem. And then she was trying to find out, oh, how can she go about it? And people were shocked. They looked at her and said, Beatrice, so you have this kind of money. Jesus Christ, what's going on? So for some people, it can be on the extreme. See, there's nothing extreme that is good. So you can't say that no, you don't spend, you are too, when you're too frugal, it's a problem. It's extreme. You must create the balance. So if you find yourself that you're not in the balance, most times there's trauma. It's trauma that always pushes you to the extreme. And a lot of people are struggling with a lot of trauma. There are people that they have never invested in their lives before. Why? Because of the trauma of investing that their parents had. Some people have come to tell us stories. Somebody shared the story sometime last year about how the father used to run a business, right? A rock business in Lagos. Now, the father had 4 shops. Those 4 shops caught fire the same day. They lost all their businesses. She grew up, she became an adult who doesn't look towards business. All she thinks of is 9 to 5. Why? Because of that trauma. She became an adult who never invests because the story didn't stop there. After the father lost his rock business, yeah, the father had good money in the bank. The father decided that he was going to go into transport business. He ventured into it. He didn't know much about it. And that's why I always say investing without knowledge is a problem. The father went to do the transport business. He didn't know much about it. He got duped and the father lost out. The father became sick and he died as a result. So for a long time in her life, she did not invest. For a long time in her life, she didn't want to think about anything concerning doing business. Why? Trauma. That thing left the trauma, money trauma in her. So a lot of us have money traumas. From could be the things we saw, it can also be the things we heard, it can be the things that we experienced. Right? It could be the things that we experienced. But there's a reason why you're managing your money the way you do today. And we're going to go through those reasons all over again when we start the Money Manager 101 course on Monday. There's a reason. So, and healing from your trauma is sacrosanct. It's sacrosanct if you must model the right money blueprint for your children. You must heal from your trauma. Healing yourself is a very integral part of your parenting. Like I said, unhealed trauma becomes an inherited behavior for your children. And it matters a lot. It matters a lot because if we must begin to build generational wealth as a people, right, then we must begin to look at certain things. Generational wealth is not about money alone. It's not. It's not about money. If it, generational wealth is not about money, and that's the reason why we fail at it. We fail. You think it's just about just making money. So we just make money, and we leave money for the children. And before you know it, they squander the money. Why? Because we didn't focus on other things that were more important than generational wealth, than the money, sorry. Generational wealth is built by mindsets, not just money. So if your children have the wrong mindset, no matter the amount of money you leave with them, they'll squander it. It's built by habits. If you don't have the right habits, they'll squander. It's built by discipline. If your children are not disciplined, no matter the kind of money you leave with them, they will not hold on to that generational legacy. It's built by systems. You need to begin to build systems if you are looking towards creating generational wealth. And everybody can create generational wealth. If you will create generational wealth, you must have a vision. And part of having a vision means that you're not going to look at yourself today and say, hey, generational wealth, me, with this thing I'm seeing in my account, believe it. Believe it without it being there. That's why it starts from. Just believe. Believe and tell yourself, I'm a generational wealth creator. And I'm going to leave back wealth that will last into generations. And I'm going to train my children to be able to do this, to be able to carry on the legacy. Honestly, if you have not read Raising Heirs, Not Hustlers, please read that book. Read the book. Right? Read the book. One of the things that prompted me to write Heirs, Not Raising Heirs, Not Hustlers, was seeing the trajectory of loss of generational wealth within my people, especially in the southeastern part of Nigeria. Why? Because Igbo people make a lot of money. But the moment the wealth creator dies, you see a very big multi-billionaire somewhere in Onitsha main market. The moment he dies, everything crumbles. Just give it time. Time. Give it time, everything crumbles. The children will squander everything. And the problem is that people thought that the secret is just to transfer assets. They didn't understand that you need to transfer first the wisdom to manage the assets before the assets get to them. You need to transfer the wisdom. You need to create a system. I had neighbors growing up that their father, he started from scratch, started from small, right? And he built one of the biggest camera markets, or shops rather, in Owerri in those days. He was one of the biggest camera dealers. He was in good money before the advent of phones. You know, those days it's just cameras. Before phones came on board, what? Ufo, I've forgotten his name. I think Ufo was the phone shop's name. He was one of the major dealers. He became so big in Owerri, he had to move to Uyo as a top point. He opened another branch in Uyo. By the time he died, he had that shop. He had properties in different parts of Owerri. Today, his children have sold every property, even the one that they were living in before they passed away. Him and his wife were living in. They've sold off everything. And it's not like they sold off everything and they are okay. Sometime a few years ago, one of them was somewhere in my DM. I was asking for a little change. Guy, how far now? Can you help me with this? These are children who sold off all their parents' properties. See, it is not about transferring assets. When you transfer assets without the wisdom to manage the assets, you've done them more wrong than good. You've done them more harm than good. And that's where we get it wrong. That's where we get it wrong. That's why we are not good at generational wealth creation. You need to look at the Rockefeller family and see how systematic they've become with trying to build wealth into generations. They have classrooms where they teach things like values, you know, the idea of having purposeful allowance started with them. Started with them. Very tragic. Very tragic. I don't know where they are today. The only thing left of that man was the shop that he left to you, that his eldest son managed to manage. The eldest son tried to manage the one in Owerri. He wrecked it. He wrecked the one in Owerri. And now he went to you. I don't know if that one still survived. Something he built from ground zero. See, in those days, when vehicles come out, Mercedes, V-Boots, 190, those vehicles in those days in the early 2000s, he was always the first to buy. That was how he had money. And he invested the money well. Properties everywhere. Every one of them sold. At some point, there are 1, 2, 3, 4 boys. At some point, they were fighting among themselves to sell the properties. The eldest didn't want to sell the properties. He felt, let's leave these properties, let them just keep bringing income, let's share them, let's share the income as it comes. The remaining 3 said, no, sell everything, let's share everything and go away. Why? There was no structure, there was no system, there was no wisdom. They transferred money without wisdom. They transferred entitlements. So we must, as we build the wealth, yes, we must teach our children how to manage it. And if you read Raising Heirs, you will understand how to begin to go about it. One of the things I studied, one of the people I studied before I wrote Raising Heirs was Christ himself. Christ is the first person to show us how to teach and send people out. He showed us how to transfer legacy through preparation. And that's one thing that we lack. We lack preparation. We don't prepare our children. We think preparation is by writing a will. A will is not what they need. They need to be prepared. If, as you leave, you cannot transfer wealth by just one document. You must have transferred everything they need before the wealth itself. So it means that you need to start teaching them now. You need to start teaching them. Their training must start immediately. And as you train them, you test them to see, oh, this training happen. Even Christ tested the disciples. He tested them before he left. And by the time he was leaving, he was sure that these disciples would carry on the legacy, would carry on the message to the end of the earth. Anyway, we'll round up. We'll round up because we've said enough for today. Right? We've said enough for today. So the greatest inheritance your children will get from you is not money, it's clarity. It's clarity. Children will inherit your habits before they inherit your assets. So your child doesn't need to be perfect with money. No, that's not what we're saying. It doesn't need to be perfect with money. They need to be aware. They need to be intentional. They need to be consistent. That's what they need. Awareness, intentionality, and consistency. Not perfection. Right? And we need to understand that financially disciplined parents don't just manage money better. They raise children who understand it. So it's not just about you. Everything we do today is not about you. It's about the one who would follow after you. Right? Just like Christ would say, it is about the one who would follow after you. It's about the children who are modeling after you. It's about the legacy you would leave behind. If it's about the next generation who will be taking over from us. That's where we're going to end the class for today. Sorry that we've taken more of your time. Thank you. I see comments that are very, very interesting. Very interesting comments. Preparation is what I wish my late mother did for my sister and I because we messed up after she passed. Yes, preparation is very, very key. Very key. It's something that we shouldn't joke with. We must train. Please, if you've not read Raising Heirs, please read the book. I'm begging you to read the book. Read Raising Heirs, not Hustlers. I said this comment says, all my children work in their daddy's shop every holiday. Wonderful, wonderful. Once you're 8, you start learning family business. Wonderful. In fact, this part of family business is the one that I weep for. If you read my book, Raising Financially Literate Children, ask a question, please. If you read my book, Raising Financially Literate Children, you would you would see where I talked about it. It's a problem where we have a lot of big business people. We're talking about businesses running into multi-millions and billions, right? But their children are not part of the business. The children don't know what's happening in the business. The people who know are even the apprentices. The apprentices are the ones who are learning. I know a particular family that runs a multi-billion business in this country. The children are in the UK. The man is here, of course, he has apprentices under him, but the children and the wife live in the UK while the business runs here. It's very unfortunate. It means that the day anything happens to that man, that business will crumble. The only people who will take anything out of it are the apprentices around him. The children who should be the main benefactors will not get anything out of the business. Yes, they will get money, they will get cash, but they won't get the wisdom to replicate. Yes, the question: is it advisable to get a savings box for a 3-year-old plus? How do I teach savings rightly to her? So you could get the savings box for a 3-year-old. Yes, you can do that. But at that age, the most important thing is not just, yes, it's good when you introduce savings, you're beginning to build habits little by little. But at that age, she's still at the age where she's still learning more by modeling. Modeling is still the key thing for her at that point in time. So more important than the savings box you are getting for the child is you yourself, what you're doing. It's you being the altar of teaching. It's you being the presentation that she's watching, right? It's you making sure that you are showing her the things that you want her to learn. She's seeing it in you. All right. And then when you now introduce the savings box, then you need to ensure that you're putting good. So, one thing you do when you start teaching your children to use piggy banks or savings boxes is ensure that you're not just telling them to save money for saving's sake. When we're little, we'll just tell us, put it there, you put it there. At the end of the year or a few months later, they'll break it and go and spend everything. You begin to teach her or him that the aim of this money is for you to be able to do so and so things that are productive, or to buy something that the child will cherish so much. Because you also need to do something that the child can relate to. It might be a toy for that age. But from there, as the child grows, becomes older, you graduate from toys to more purposeful things that the child can relate to per age. Right? But always put a purpose to the savings. Tell her we are saving for so and so. You are saving for so and so. Don't just say you're just saving. There must be a purpose attached to savings. A lot of adults who struggle with savings today is because they don't have a purpose for their savings. And when you don't have a purpose for anything, it becomes difficult to be disciplined for it. But when that purpose is strong, when the child wants that thing so much, the child will be the one reminding you that I want to put money inside that place because she wants that thing that she's going to get at the end. And that's also a way to teach long-term thinking. That's also a way to teach delayed gratification. A lot of lessons come up when we when we encourage our children to have savings boxes or piggy banks. All right. Thank you. Says, okay, my children know every one of our businesses and what businesses we focus on per year. Okay, great, great, great. I had no dad to show me the way, and my mom did the best she knew to do, and I'm glad I'm here learning. And I can say that I'm leaving clarity and inheritance to my own daughter. Lovely. That is the goal. That is the goal. You're very welcome, ma. You're very welcome, ma. You're very welcome. How do I model savings to her? Does she see my account? Let's talk about it. Talk about it. That's why you should have conversations. So have certain conversations that she can hear. Now, the question is, how do you model other things that you do to your children? Right? How do you model other things? You might not be modeling what is in your accounts, but you're modeling what goes out of you. You're modeling spending. Right? She sees you spending money, doing this, doing that. You go to a shop and then you want to get this. She asks, why can't we get this? You tell her, no, this is the reason why. right? She sees you have a plan. You, mommy, what are you doing? I'm trying to write my budget. There's a list I was supposed to make before we spend money. That's what I'm doing. She'll say, okay. So little by little, little by little, right? So she can't see your account for now, but for the things that are relatable to her, let her know that you do. It's not everything that she's going to know. As she grows older, she'll begin to understand better. Um, yes, Mrs. Tosin says, my daughter wants to become a businesswoman because she sees me. Yes, because, if they see you, they will always want to be like you. Um, yes, every savings must be named, right? You must put purpose. Even for us, it's not even just for our children. Even for us, you must have a purpose for your savings. If you don't have a purpose for that money you're saving, you go chop am. So you need to tell yourself, this particular saving, I'm keeping it to invest, let's say in real estate. This particular saving, I'm keeping it for emergency funds. This particular savings, I want to put it in the stock market. You must put a purpose to it, right? If you're in the Money Click program and you went through, you have privy to still go through the mastering self-discipline course, the Money Click. Go back to that course. You understand how savings actually work. You understand the power of purpose. Sorry, now how savings work. How purpose works. You understand the power of purpose. How purpose can drive you to achieve. How purpose increases discipline. That's the reason why you need to attach purpose to savings, right? If you're not in the Money Click, you can also pay and you have that course, and the replay is available if you want it. Just send us a DM, I will give you access to it. Thank you so much, ma'am. Thank you. Yes, you must become the author of your teachings. Okay, thank you so much. Thank you. Thank you. Thank you so much. Thank you. All right. Thank you. Okay. As the first son, family pressure is always on my neck. Family pressure is okay. I didn't get the context of this Black Mysterio. So let me know. Just say something better. Let me understand better how you're relating this to family pressure. Is it that family pressure does not allow you to save or does not allow you to budget? Tell me, speak to me, put it better for me to understand. Um, my 19-year-old pays the rent weekly, and my 8-year-old is in charge of energy. Oh, nice, nice. I love this. Oh, really interesting. Okay. Thank you so much, Madam Linda. Oh, this is really nice. I like that. Thank you so much. The benefit of being in the money is gradually making sense by the day. Thank you so much, ma'am. Thank you so much, Mrs. Tosin. Thank you so much, everyone, for being here. Oh, okay. So, Black Mysterio. So, okay, not allowing you to budget. So, as a first one, you can't budget because of family pressure. In fact, that's the reason why you should budget. Because of family pressure is the reason why you should budget, right? When you budget, you will now budget for that pressure, that family pressure. So let's say you earn 1,000, and what you can put to the pressure is 100. You budget that 100. When it's finished, you close your mind. That's the reason why emotional clarity, emotions control is very key when you're managing money. You must be able to say no and stick to the no. You must be able to say no and stick to the no. In fact, when you have a lot of pressure, that's when you need to budget. You need to ensure that you're catering for the important things so that the unimportant things don't take away money for the important things. And when you budget, then you begin to see clearly where the money should go. See, when you don't budget, you don't see anything. When you don't budget, all you're seeing is that you probably just have 1,000 in your account. You're not seeing what that 1,000 is supposed to do. But when you budget, you're seeing clearly what that 1,000 is supposed to do. So if somebody comes from somewhere and says, please, I need money for this, because you can see clearly what that money is supposed to do, you know you can't take it out. If you do, it means you can't achieve those things that money is supposed to do. If part of what that money is supposed to do is rent, you would clearly see that, okay, I have rent to pay, so I can't give you this money. But when there's no budget, you might even forget that you have rent to pay. When the person comes knocking, you dole it out without thinking, right? So budgeting is key. Budgeting is helping you plan ahead of time. Budgeting is giving you clarity. You can see where the money should go to. and you have boundaries. But it helps you to set boundaries. Before the pressure starts coming, you tell yourself, anything family, this is how much I can do from my income every month for family. And you will not go beyond that. You must be able to have emotions control. You must be able to say no. See, not being able to say no is a problem. It's a problem with money. You must be able to say no and stick to your no. And stick to your no. Right? When you say no and you stick to it. All right? All right. Please just stay tuned with more of our classes. Go for previous ones. You see where we've talked more about budgeting. You see where we talk more about emotions control, and you can get more information. I like this comment here that says there's plenty here in Kano a week for most Igbo men. It's very unfortunate. We understand money making. What we don't understand is management. We don't understand structure. We don't understand systems. Yes, Igbo people don't understand systems in money. And that's the reason why they are rich today, the next day they are poor. That's the reason why you see a family that is very well to do. Once the wealth generator dies, everything crumbles to the ground, right? Because we don't have structure. We just have the skills to make the money, but the rest of the things do not really follow. Thank you so much, everyone. Thank you. Thank you. Please, if you've not subscribed to this channel, please do well to subscribe. Just hit the subscribe button and we'll be glad. Hit the like button as well. That would also help push out our page as well. Yes, taking the healing from financial trauma course is a must. That course is also coming up sometime in the year. It's a must. I think either May or June, we should be having that course. I think May. That course is coming up sometime in May or June. So please get ready for it. It's a must. We must heal from our past traumas, right? Thank you so much. Thank you so much, Black Mysterio. I would like to know your real name. Thank you, and thank you, and thank you, everyone, for being here. This is what we draw the curtain for the day, and I'm going to see you next week. Remember, next week, we're live every week. We're live on Facebook and Instagram on Wednesdays by 12 noon Nigerian time, right? That's GMT plus 1, WAT. On Thursdays, we're live by 12 noon also on YouTube and our Facebook, the Naira Academy page. And that live happens also by 12 noon West African time, GMT plus 1. Don't miss it. Every week we are here. Come rain, come sunshine, we are here. Thank you so much for being here. Yes, remain in the Money Click program. The Money Click is a place to be in. The truth is, rewiring takes time, right? And you need to be in place. You need to be consistent for you to get something out of what you need to get it out of, right? If you want to get anything out of the Money Click program, you must ensure consistency. If you want to get anything out of Inner Circle, you must ensure consistency, right? It is not do today, go tomorrow. Consistency is what will bring you results, right? And here in the Money Click program, this is a place where things happen. If you're not yet in the Money Click program, I don't know what to say. But just look at this number scrolling at the bottom of the screen. Send us a message today. I will tell you how to join the March cohort that will be starting in just about a month's time, right? My name is Chukwuemeka Oyedezi, and I am your billionaire coach. See you soon. Bye-bye.
Guy, how far now?
Omo, I'm not really fine. Do you know they paid me last week, and right now I can't even boost up to 10,000 naira in my account?
Seriously?
Yes.
Did you budget?
Which one is budgeting? I'm not a politician.
That's why your money is missing like NEPA light.
But I didn't buy anything serious, shoes, bags, the thing that guys need now. And just like that, fiam, the money has disappeared.
But it's all these little things. That's why it's taking your money.
Nah. But what should I do?
See, you have to create a budget. You have to track your spending. You have to prioritize your needs over your wants. And you have to save before you spend, not the other way around.
So what you're trying to say that this money management thing is no child's play?
It's no child's play at all.
The Money Click is an annual financial literacy program to help you up your money game. The Money Click is not just about money, it's about mindset. So in the Money Click program, go beyond budgeting to rewire your thinking, to rewire your mindset, to change your thinking about income, to change your thinking about money management. So we'll help you grow your income, we'll help you manage it, we'll help you invest with confidence. Money is not just about what you know. Money is more about how you behave. And every day in the Money Click program, what we'll try to do is to influence how you behave about money. This is not just financial education. This is financial transformation. I will hope to see you become a part of it. Thank you.